Hey guys, Dr. Kyle Loveless here, really your health expert. My wife and I both have two clinics in the Charlotte area, one in Matthews and one in South Park. I'm currently in our Matthews location right now, really just shooting a quick video on how to raise a healthy family. This is huge, and I say it's huge because if you look at the world around us today, we don't have healthy families. Physically, we're incredibly unhealthy, emotionally, a lot of levels. And so ultimately, in the world we live in today, I want to give you 3 easy things you can do to actually change that, okay? To actually, how do you raise a healthy family in the world we live in today? Because it is different than maybe when you were growing up or when your parents, it's changing, and there's so many things you have to know. And so what I want to start with is, I want to talk about today, when I was thinking about how to raise a healthy family, and I started to make a list of all the things that I could share with you guys, it's pretty overwhelming. I mean, there's things from don't give your kids sugar, right? To looking at what kind of foods are going into their body, to the chemicals, are there preservatives, to things like the water that they're drinking, from the amount of time they have resting to, I mean, there's just so many different things. And I literally had a list of about 25 different things to share with you. And so what I did is I said, okay, I'm gonna give you the 3 things that I think people don't realize in our world today. 3 things that I think are not things that you hear about every single day. And these are very, very, very important ones as well. So I'm gonna give you 3 things, and then hey, at the end, I'm gonna give you a bonus one as well. The reason I'm talking about raising a healthy family is because we get to see thousands of patients every year really helping families. We see lots of families in our office, little babies to all the way up to the grandparents, and we love to see families get healthy together. But you got to know what you're doing in the world today. Okay, so the top 3 things, that's what we're going to hit on today. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully you get some value for this. Hopefully you'll share this. Later on this month, I think it's August 21st, in our office, we're actually going to be doing a workshop on how do you actually raise a healthy family. So not just 3 tips, we're gonna dive deep into that stuff. If you wanna come to that workshop, just send us a message, we'll get you set up with it. It's free, it's for our patients, but we also allow the community to come as well. So you can come to that. So let's dive into the top 3, the top 3 things. The first thing that I put on my list, I'm gonna write on this little clipboard here if it's okay with you. The first thing I have on my list is to honor your symptoms, okay? So it's not a food to eat, it's not a special supplement, it's literally honoring your symptoms. Right there, honor your symptoms. This is so very important. Our bodies are wonderfully and powerfully made. They're made to heal. And when we have a symptom, let's say a fever, let's say a cough, let's say runny nose, whatever that symptom is, maybe it's throwing up, maybe it's a digestive system issue, whatever that symptom is, high blood pressure, whatever it is, again, anything. You have to honor that symptom. It'd be pretty unintelligent of us to think that we know more than the power that created us and how the body is supposed to respond. Meaning this, if I have a fever, or if one of my kids has a fever, if my daughter has a fever, I'm not gonna give her a Tylenol because I don't want to get rid of the fever, because I know that her body is intelligent. And the reason she's creating a fever most likely is because she's fighting something off. She needs an immune response via that fever to fight off a virus or bacteria. The pediatric journals have shown that you need to get to 104 degrees to kill off a virus. So it has to get up there. And I know 104 gets really scary when we talk about our kids. But it needs to get to 104 degrees to kill off a virus, and it needs to be there for a period of time. And it needs to get to 102 degrees to kill off a bacteria, so we need the fever. So when your child has a fever, instead of rushing to a Tylenol, which is super dangerous for kids, horrible for their bodies, no research actually showing that they're safe for kids, believe it or not, really hard on their bodies. Every day they're taking things off the shelf, right? Because of things they find out later happens to it. It's one of the #1 causes of liver problems and digestive problems. You just want to stay away from that stuff, especially with your kids. I know this is like candy stuff we got used to, and we have it in our medicine cabinet in the bathroom, but it is not okay for our children. I don't care what your doctor tells you, it is not okay for your kids. It's a chemical that is very hard on their body. Not only that, it's not helping them. They need the fever. Fever's a good thing. Another symptom could be a cough. Think about this. When you cough, you're trying to get rid of things. Our body's intelligent, so we have a virus or bacteria or something in our lungs or anything like that. We're trying to get rid of it. That's a good thing. When I have sinus drainage, let's say your sinuses are draining like crazy and they're all stopped up, though that's a good thing because that's how your body gets rid of it. It's building up mucus to get rid of the problem. It's a good thing, okay? Your blood pressure, believe it or not, It's a good thing. Your body needs more blood supply for some reason. Your arterial walls might be constricting, which will increase pressure, needs to increase heart rate, and that's a good thing. Okay. Now there are things where it can get really high and really extreme, and there's other things you can do for that. That's another video. But honor your symptoms in the beginning. There's literally a book called How to Raise a Healthy Child Despite Your Medical Doctor or Despite Your Pediatrician, and it's just because of the fact that anytime you go there, you're going to get a pill. And anytime you get a pill, it's going to make you sicker because that's how the body works, right? Any chemical will always block your body's ability to adapt. Every medication either blocks receptors or alters physiology. And when it does that, it's going to affect you at a negative level because the body needs to adapt, okay? So honor those symptoms. Be okay with a cold. Be okay with the virus. Hey, really cool story. My daughter Eleanor, if you haven't met her yet, if you're a patient, you'll get to meet her at some point. But a really cool story. So she's teething, you know how babies teeth and everything. They'll get a fever. And she had her first fever probably about a month ago. And she was coming back from our friend's house that was watching her that afternoon. Came back, she just wasn't feeling good, had that fever. And you know, we're just sad and nervous. It's the first fever our daughter's having. Even though we know a lot, you still get nervous. I get it. Even us, we used to get really nervous. But we were like, okay, we're going to honor the symptom. We're going to get her adjusted. And it was the coolest thing. So the adjustment actually helps the body adapt. So we adjusted her, and within an hour, the fever was gone and never had a problem again. Pretty cool. And we see this all the time with kids and getting adjusted. So first step, honor your symptoms. Number two is, let's see what I got here. Oh, number two is my favorite. And I put this on here ultimately because most people don't know about it for kids. Okay, you might know about it for your back pain or your neck pain, but we don't realize that chiropractic care is extremely valuable for children. It's extremely valuable for your entire family, and here's why. First of all, 90% of the stimulation to your brain comes from the movement of your spine. Okay, so your spine needs to be able to move because we sit a lot, because we're on a lot of, you know, screens or laptops or whatever you want to call that, on cell phones. We're like this all day long. Kids have falls, they have injuries. The birthing process in and of itself is really hard on the spine. If it's a C-section, very hard. If they did a suction, really hard on the spine. They've shown us 80 to 90 pounds of pressure going into a baby's spine, which is still cartilage. At that birthing process, we go against gravity. The whole birthing situation in America is really off, right? It's not how it was meant to be. We have the highest infant mortality rate, unfortunately, in the industrialized world. So we know that the birthing process is super hard on your body. And it can affect the spine. Well, with chiropractic, we can help with back and neck pain, but what we do is we work with the spine and the nervous system. And when the spine is not moving, it can get subluxated, and that can be from a trauma like birth. That could be from sleeping on your stomach all night long. That could be from being on a computer or being in text message mode like this all day long. Your spine gets subluxated, it creates a stress response in your body, alters the neurology in that area, actually affects the nerves, and then those nerves go to organs and it can affect those organs. It also creates, like I said, it creates a stress response, which puts your body into a stressed mode. It creates a sympathetic dominant body. And when you're in a sympathetic dominant body, which means fight or flight mode, your body is in a constant stress mode, which means the immune system is going to be depressed. The digestive system is going to be depressed. Your blood pressure will start to rise. Your heart rate will start to rise. All these things will happen, and that's how stress works. So when we adjust a spine, whether it's an adult or a baby, it doesn't matter. They're both still spines working and stimulating the nervous system. It actually blocks the stress response. It makes your body more resilient to stress. Why do we have families? Why do our patient just had a baby 2 days ago? Why are they bringing her in today? Or why do we go to the hospital to adjust? Because we want to make sure there's no interference to the nervous system, because your nervous system controls your body. It gives your body the optimal ability to heal. So you see, it has nothing to do with back and neck pain. Those are just side effects of getting your spine moving again. Those go away. It has to do with your body's ability to adapt to its environment. The adjustment helps you adapt to your environment. That's why we see miracles. And I call them miracles simply because they're not things you thought were going to happen. We have kids with people with digestive issues, digestive problems healing. Kids that haven't used the restroom in 2 weeks, and they use the restroom right after their adjustment, right? Pretty cool stuff. Colicky babies, sinuses, allergies, ear infections, all those things get better under chiropractic care, not because we're treating those symptoms, but because it gives your body the ability to heal itself by removing interference, by getting rid of the stress response and allowing your body to get back to balance and homeostasis. And when your body does that, it works at its highest level. So number one, honor your symptoms. Number two, introduce chiropractic care. It might be a high level, it might be a wellness level, it might be therapeutic, or it might be wellness, but it's essential. I'm telling you, in the world we live in today, with the amount of stress we have on our spines and our nervous system, it is essential to a good, healthy family. Okay, and I'm not saying that just because I'm a chiropractor. I can imagine not being able to adjust our daughter. She has done amazing, and it really is. We give it almost all to, obviously to God and the power that He's given the body to heal itself, but us allowing the nervous system to function at a high level by keeping her spine moving, very healthy. Really cool stuff. The third and the final one I'm going to give you a bonus today. I said that, but the third one is going to be, and this one, here's the deal. I'm going to write this here, and I really don't want any comments negatively about this, but it is a crucial part of raising a healthy family, so I couldn't honestly, I couldn't do this without talking about it. And number three is understanding vaccines. This video isn't to teach you about vaccines, whether to do them or not to do them. We particularly do not, and there's a lot of good reasons why, because we understand how they work. And that's what I want you guys to do, is make sure that you understand physiologically how the individual ingredients and the ingredients as a whole and all the different vaccines they give you at once, how those function or how those affect the body. Okay? Not just say, vaccine gets rid of the measles. It prevents measles. That doesn't tell you how it works. What I want you to know for raising your healthy family, because this is your family and you need to know this stuff, is to understand the mechanisms of how those individual things work in the body. Understand the physiology. Today is not, in the world today, to raise a healthy family, you have to understand anatomy and physiology. Unfortunately, your doctor's not going to do it for you. The truth is, if your doctor understands anatomy and physiology fully and how this operates in the body, they're most likely not going to want to give you this anymore because it doesn't add up, right? Not only is the research adding up, but the physiology, it doesn't work physiology-wise. But you have to understand, I don't want to tell you that. I want you to go research. Take the time, the energy, because it is a crucial part of raising a healthy family, is understanding how these work, what you want to do for your family when it comes to vaccines. So, honoring symptoms, chiropractic care, understanding vaccines. Those are the top three things that I think that if you start to implement those, honor your symptoms, chiropractic care, and knowing more about vaccines, you're going to start to move in the right direction when it comes to raising a healthy family. Obviously, there's certain ways to eat. There's certain ways to make sure your family's exercising and moving. And the final one that I didn't actually put on here, but I'm going to do it as a bonus. This one is big these days. I put it right here, I don't know if you can read it, but screen time. How much screen time do your kids get? Personally, I don't think kids should be on a screen at all until a certain age. I don't think they need TV. I don't think they need a laptop in front of them to babysit them. And I have kids, so I get it, right? But I have a daughter, so I get it. But the screen is so damaging to the neurology. It's so stressful on the body. Our kids are having so much input at such a little age, such a young age, and their brains trying to develop, their bodies trying to develop, and it's just too much. And you wonder why we have ADD and ADHD, why we have all these stress response symptoms, which we call diagnoses in our world today. And it links back, a lot of it links back to the amount of screen time kids are getting. So that's something to be aware of as well. Do the research on that. Do the research, don't just take my advice for it, because when you research it, you start to own it, you start to understand it. And when you understand how it's affecting your child, it's so much easier to say, nah, we're not going to do that anymore, because it's unhealthy for you in the long term, and you want the best for your kids. We all do. And the same for adults. If you're on a screen all the time, there's so much research now how addicting social media is. If you have the teenage kids or middle school kids on social media, they can't handle it. It's like literally like a drug. But not only that, they're always worried about I gotta check my messages. I gotta make sure I'm posting enough. I gotta make sure people like me. I got enough likes. I got enough this. It's too much stress on the body, including everything else we have out there. So I'd highly recommend reevaluating, if you do a lot of it, screen time for your kids and for your family. Honestly, for adults too. It's not just kids, but it is really hard on kids. All right, guys, so that is the top 3 plus the bonus. Hey, if you want to learn more about raising a healthy family, come August 21st at our office in South Park. We're going to be doing about an hour 15-minute seminar on how to, or workshop on how to raise a healthy family. I'm going to give you the top tips to do that, more than just 3, and give you some steps on how to implement that, and at least get you moving in the right direction, get you into awareness, hopefully get you into some action as well. Okay? Hey guys, if you like this video, please share it. I think this is some valuable stuff. I think people can get a whole lot from it. You know, I talked about some pretty simple stuff like honoring your symptoms. People don't realize that. They think a symptom is a bad thing. In my world, a symptom's a good thing. I call it, you know what we call, and when our family is, we call it, you know, you call it sick, like you're coughing and your viruses and fevers and all that stuff. Everybody says you're sick. I say you're expressing health because your immune system is doing its job. It's a good thing, right? And the key is to honor those symptoms. Secondly, get chiropractic care. Dive into understanding chiropractic care. This is the revolution of healthcare. It's the second largest healthcare profession in the world, but it's also one of the most valuable things because it teaches health, and it sees health from a vitalistic standpoint, meaning your body is made to heal itself. It doesn't need help healing. It just needs no interference. Our job is to remove interference. And then finally is make sure that you are understanding what you're putting into your kids' bodies. Vaccines. Know it. Know the stuff inside and out, because you are the only one that's going to be held responsible at the end when there's if there's a negative issue. True story. Finally, watch screen time. All right, guys, y'all have an awesome day. Like it, love it, share it, and hopefully get some good value out of it. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks.